Adam asks, are you classed as a millionaire if you have 10 houses worth 100,000 each with a 75% mortgage on them? You may be a millionaire and you don't even know it. You may feel like being broke, but you can be a millionaire. Because there are 3 types of millionaire, and you may be one of them. Everything you need to know about being a millionaire. Stay tuned. If I can change my life, so can you. Subscribe to my channel and I show you how. My name is Fabrizio Cravero and this channel is all about property investment for the UK and overseas investors. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We are going to create a community of investors that grows together. According to Credit Suisse, there are 56 million millionaires in the world. And that's very encouraging news. And you may be on that list. Let's see. Credit Suisse defines millionaires as those with a total wealth of $1 million or more. It says it measures both financial and non-financial wealth. In other words, anyone with net assets of more than $1 million, like your house, art collection, and other assets, is a millionaire. So, net assets. It means assets minus liabilities. But what is an asset and what is a liability? An asset is a resource with economic value that you own or control with the expectation they will provide a future benefit. A liability is something a person or company owes. Of course, there is always a big debate. Is the house where you live an asset or a liability? Robert Kiyosaki says that an asset puts money in your pocket and a liability takes money out from your pocket. And in this case, your home can be considered a liability. Now, it's up to you to decide if your own home is an asset or a liability. But according to Credit Suisse definition, your house counts towards the definition of a millionaire. And now we are able to answer Adam's question. Are you classed as a millionaire if you have 10 houses worth 100,000 each with a 75% mortgage on them? So, 10 houses, 100,000 each is 1 million worth of assets. But 75% mortgage means that there is a mortgage of 750,000. So, sorry Adam, you are not classed as a millionaire because you have 250,000 pound net assets, net worth. But honestly, Adam, if your 10 houses have a positive cash flow, even after you pay for the mortgage, then that's a great position to be. You need to know that there are 3 types of millionaire. You can be asset value millionaire, net worth millionaire, or cash flow millionaire. Ideally, you should aim at being a cash flow millionaire. But let me explain. You are an asset value millionaire if you had to sell everything and pay off any liabilities, you would have $1 million left over. In this case, your house counts as well. So, for example, if you fully own your $1 million home where you live and you have $10,000, let's say, in your bank account, you are an asset value millionaire. But you may feel broke. You can hardly afford any luxury. On the other hand, if you rent the house where you live, but you fully own 4 investment properties, each one worth $200,000, generating cash flow every month, and $200,000 in stocks, maybe also receiving regular dividends, then you will be a net worth millionaire, and for sure in a better position than an asset value millionaire. So you might be an asset value millionaire and you don't even know it. You need to work hard every month and you are definitely not driving a Ferrari. For example, my net worth is more than £1 million. I can consider myself a millionaire, but unfortunately I'm not, or I should say, I'm not yet a cash flow millionaire. A cash flow millionaire is someone that owns assets that pay out or cash flow $1 million per year. I show you in a previous video all the numbers of one of my properties, and this house here has a net cash flow of £6,105 per year, which means that I will need 164 houses like that to be a cash flow millionaire. Wow, that's quite a large portfolio. I still have a long way to go. But now let me give you a quick tip to create wealth for sure. Have you heard about the 50-20-30 rule? Where 50% of your net income should go towards your needs. Needs are those bills that you absolutely must pay and are the things necessary for survival. Those include rent and mortgage payment, car payment, grocery, insurance, healthcare, utilities, etc. Those are the must-have. So, not Netflix, Starbucks, dining out, sorry. Then, you should allocate 20% of your net income to savings and investment. I suggest you to create an emergency fund for unexpected expenses and start creating your pot of money for investment. You can invest in stocks, or since you are here in this channel, I'm showing you how you can invest in UK properties, even if you don't live in the UK. And that's what's called the pay yourself first strategy. Super powerful, it's the golden rule of personal finance. And by the way, if you want to learn how to invest in high demand area and in very profitable UK properties, you can attend the free training that I'm going to release soon. There is a link in the description below where you can register and you will be the first to be informed when I open the application. And now, in the 50-20-30 rule, 30% of your income should go towards your wants. Wants are all the things you spend money on that are not absolutely essential. These include dinner and movie out, the new handbag, vacation, the latest electronic gadget, etc. Basically, wants are all those little extra you spend money on that makes life more enjoyable and entertaining. We need that as well, isn't it? So, the 50-20-30 rule is fundamental, but the best tip I can give you, and the one that you might think is the most obvious, is don't lose money. Of course, right? Nobody wants to lose money, but some investors lose money for one simple reason. After they work hard, they follow the 50-20 rule and they put aside 20% for investment. Then they just listen to what the masses says about the latest hot stock or the best investment area. Don't listen blindly to what the newspaper says. Don't listen only to the YouTube creators, myself included. Don't listen to your friends. Always, 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 please do your own due diligence. Check the background of the company you want to invest. Check the area and the numbers of the property that you are planning to buy, and check the companies you are working with. After you save regularly 20% of your income at least, you must put your money at work in a very safe way. So, 50-20-30 rule. Don't lose money. Due diligence. Like the video and subscribe to the channel. And honestly, asset millionaire, net worth millionaire, cash flow millionaire, it doesn't really matter. As long as you are happy, and anyway, keep it up investing, and it is just a matter of time until you reach your goal. So invest with knowledge, create financial freedom, and I'll see you in the next video.